name is Elena Harper, and I bought the perfect house.
My name is Elena Harper, and I bought the perfect house. Or at least, that's what I told everyone. It was a steal, an old Victorian on the edge of town, tucked away in a quiet neighborhood where the streets dead-ended into woods. The realtor called it charming with character. I called it a fresh start. After the divorce, I needed something mine. No more shared mortgage, no more arguments echoing through sterile apartment walls. Just me, my laptop, and miles of silence to finish my novel. The house was built in 1892. High ceilings, creaky hardwood floors, and walls thick enough to swallow sound. The first night, I unpacked in the master bedroom upstairs. As I hammered a nail for a picture frame, I heard it, a faint tap, tap, tap from inside the wall. Like someone answering. I laughed it off. Old houses settle. Pipes expand. Mice, maybe. But the next morning, while making coffee in the kitchen, I dropped a spoon. It clattered on the tile. And from the wall behind the counter came the exact same sound, clatter, clatter. I froze. Hello? I said stupidly, pressing my ear to the plaster. Nothing. That evening, I called my ex, Mark, out of habit. We weren't on bad terms, just tired ones. The house is great, I told him. But it's noisy. He chuckled. Noisy? You wanted quiet. It's like echoes, I said. But delayed. Weird echoes. He paused. Maybe get it checked for pests. Or carbon monoxide. That stuff makes you hear things. I hung up, feeling foolish. But that night, as I typed in bed, my fingers flying over the keys, tap 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 tap, the same rhythm came back from the wall beside my headboard. Tap. Tap tap tap. I stopped typing. I started again. The echo followed, perfectly timed. Heart pounding, I grabbed a flashlight and went to the basement. The walls down there were exposed brick in places, crumbling mortar. I knocked on one section. Knock knock. From upstairs, faint but clear. Knock knock. No, that couldn't be. I ran back up, knocking on the living room wall. The response came from the basement. The house was mimicking me. Over the next few days, it got worse. I'd whisper to myself while cooking, pass the salt, and later, from another room, a whisper, pass the salt. I'd hum a tune in the shower, and hours later, the melody drifted from the vents. I stopped talking aloud. I typed notes on my phone instead. But even my footsteps, heel toe down the hall, were repeated, like a shadow trailing a few steps behind. I researched the house's history online. Built by a man named Elias Crow, a reclusive architect. He lived alone after his wife died in childbirth. No children. He passed in 1923, found starved in the attic, surrounded by sketches of walls. Endless drawings of walls with tiny figures trapped inside. Local forums called it haunted. The Echo House, one post said. It learns you. Then it keeps you. I laughed nervously. Ghosts don't echo footsteps. But one night, desperate for sleep, I took a sleeping pill and crashed early. I dreamed of walls closing in, voices whispering my secrets. I woke to scratching. Slow, deliberate scratching from inside the bedroom wall. Scritch, scritch, scritch. I sat up, sweat-soaked. Stop, I whispered. The scratching stopped. Then, from the wall. Stop. My voice. Exactly my voice. Panic hit. I grabbed my phone and called Mark again. It rang twice before he answered, groggy. Elena? It's 3 a.m. There's something in the walls, I hissed. It's copying me. My voice, my sounds, everything. He sighed. You're stressed. The divorce. No. Listen. I banged on the wall 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. Silence on the line. Then, faintly through the phone. Bang, bang, bang. Mark's end. What was that? He asked, voice sharp now. You heard it? Yeah. From my wall? I dropped the phone. Mark lived 3 states away. The next day, I packed a bag to leave. Hotels, anything. As I zipped it shut, zip, the sound echoed from downstairs. I froze in the hallway. Who's there? I called. My voice answered from the kitchen. Who's there? I backed toward the door. Then, clearer, closer, from the wall right beside me, Elena. Not an echo. A real voice. Deeper. Male. I ran. But the front door wouldn't open. The knob turned, but the door held fast, like something pushed from the other side. I spun around. The house was silent now. Too silent. I grabbed a hammer from the toolbox and smashed into the living room wall. Plaster crumbled, revealing old lath and something else. A cavity. Hollow space. Inside, a small, crude recording device. Wires snaking into the walls. Old, but functional. And a speaker grill hidden behind the plaster. More smashing. In the kitchen wall, another device. Upstairs. Microphones embedded in the vents. The whole house was wired. My blood ran cold. Someone had been listening. Recording. Playing back. But who? And why? I called the police from the porch, finally outside after breaking a window. They came, searched. Found dozens of devices. Hidden cameras too, in light fixtures, smoke detectors. The wiring led to the attic. Up there, behind a false panel, a small room. A cot. Cans of food. A laptop streaming feeds from the cameras. And notes. Pages of them. My routines. What I ate. What I typed on my laptop, keylogger. My phone calls transcribed. One note, in frantic handwriting, she sounds just like her. The police traced the laptop. It belonged to Elias Crow's great-grandnephew. A man named Elias Crow Jr., obsessed with his ancestors' perfect house. He'd been living in the walls. For weeks. Maybe since I moved in. Listening. Learning my voice. Waiting. They caught him 2 towns over, trying to buy another old house. But here's what keeps me awake now, in my hotel room, months later. The police said he couldn't mimic voices perfectly. Not without samples. And on his laptop, there were audio files. Hundreds. My voice, but saying things I'd never said. Things I was thinking. Planning. Like, I can't wait to be alone forever. Or worse, Mark deserved it. I never said those aloud. How did he know? Sometimes, late at night, I hear it still. A faint tap tap tap. From inside the hotel wall. Answering. What do you think was really happening? Drop your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more stories that might keep you up at night.